It's huge. There's a lot of those guys that have played in big games and big stadiums, so he just has to realize he doesn't have to make every play. There's a lot of guys out there that have made plays and get them the ball and let them do their thing. So I think they're really going to help carry him all their experience.
Did you give him any extra homework for the weekend?
No, just stay out of trouble.
What's the biggest takeaway that you got from Florida's defense looking at them after Saturday?
Just what we thought. I mean, better than last year even, which is impressive. They were a top 7 defense last year, and violent up front, great D-line. Secondary, they can get down your face and cover you up and attack. So it's going to be a great challenge.
We know about Ryan Swope and Easy. Who of the other wide receivers don't play that much? Who's been after this team, you think?
Some of the young guys really stepped up. Thomas Johnson, very talented kid. Savion Holmes, Mike Evans, who's been here but redshirted last year, and Kenrick McNeil's a guy who's played here but had some injury problems, and he's really had a strong camp.
And you're going to go 8? You go 8 deep?
Yeah, as many as it takes. You know, we feel like we have a bunch of talent, and we usually have an 8-man rotation, but if other guys are playing well, we'll throw them in there.
I think it helped them to play game last week, their defense and especially teams capable of passing.
I don't think there's any substitute for game experience, and so that's just my take on it. So we'll see.
And with Trey, y'all have any kind of special packages to get him on the field?
Not really. We'll see how the rotation goes. I let Coach McKinney handle that, but we'd like to get him out there in some capacity.
Have you thought about what this is going to be like for you going out onto this field on Saturday and actually having these fans cheering for you this time?
Yeah, I've had it the other way. No, it's exciting. You can just kind of sense the intensity picking up already. So we're expecting a great atmosphere, and we think our kids can play really hard.
How comforting is it to have 2 experienced and talented tackles?
That's been good. I mean, they're, I think, as good as any you'll find in the country. So to walk into a situation with those guys and with the freshman quarterback, you know, it's going to be a big help.
What do you see from Christian Michael throughout camp as you guys lead up to the first game?
Just improvement, you know, from the spring till now, it's night and day. Just gotten better and more confident with every time he touches the ball. So hopefully that can come to fruition this Saturday.
Any areas in particular that he's emphasized?
You know, obviously he's going to catch the ball a little bit more out of the backfield than he's used to, and so that's just something that takes reps and takes time.
Do you feel in general that what adjustments have you seen against the air raid in the last couple of years? That I mean, what are defenses doing now that maybe they weren't doing a couple years ago?
I mean, it's been everything. You know, I don't call ours the air raid really, but it's just everything. We've seen every look, and I think that's why we emphasize doing what we do and not so much what the defense does. We want to dictate things, and we're going to do what we're good at and attack in that way.
What do you call yours if it's not the air raid?
Just an offense.
Other than that, SEC, I mean, is Kentucky similar to you all at all? I mean, this could still be considered a novelty kind of offense to the traditional SEC when you think of they see.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Cam Newton, what Gus Malzahn does is, I guess, a novelty as you get. So it's not new to the conference, that's for sure.
What was it like for you to start the game as a freshman? I mean, how difficult was that for you, and how much advice have you given Johnny on that?
Yeah, it was different circumstances. Like I said, I just think mentally he got here, you know, he graduated early, so he's been around a little bit longer, and I think mentally he's prepared himself for this moment. I don't think he expected to sit very long when he got on campus, put it that way. So he's excited to be out there.
What are you guys maybe doing, Kliff, scheme-wise, just to make sure that he doesn't get engulfed in the moment early and kind of settles in a little bit? How important is that for him?
Yeah, it's big. We're going to run our offense. We're going to do what we do. And like I said, if I had any trepidation or hesitation about putting him in, he wouldn't be the starting quarterback. So.
How comfortable do you feel with the progress Patrick Lewis individually and then as a whole the line has made with tempo going into this game?
It's been good. They did some of it here, and just as steady as we do it, they've had to adjust to that. But it's a veteran group, like we said. It should be the strong point of our team.
I think of a plus is if you guys knowing that the defense can't substitute unless you substitute. Basically, what they got is what they got.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of teams throughout the country are starting to try and take advantage of that. It's an offensive role type deal. It's an advantage offense on that. So If you can keep them out there and try to gas them and go fast, I think you should try it.
When you guys were at Houston, maybe there were some questions if your offense could work against BCS schools. Now people are saying, will it work against SEC defenses? Do you feel like you can kind of make a statement with that, or?
I mean, I don't look at it that way. I've always thought it's about players and not plays, you know. So if you got the guys to do it, you can run pretty much anything you want and make it work. So I don't look at it as some big statement game. We're just trying to win.
Last Champ had some games against Texas Tech. When he was at Texas, and obviously he knows the scheme pretty well. He didn't always do as well as he would like to against it. But do you think that gives him a little bit of an advantage that he played Tech those years?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I think personnel changes year to year, and so does the offense with as it branches out to different coaches, different places. So I wouldn't know if that's going to help him or not.
I think we'll have problems with Crabtree.
What's that?
We'll have problems with Michael Crabtree.
Yeah, I think everybody did.
So you don't believe offenses, up-tempo offenses need like a catchy nickname or anything like that?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'll let y'all handle that. If you're good enough, they'll give you one.
Well, do y'all have different, I mean, can you, if you're going one play to 15 seconds, do you want it to go faster, do you have like a super jet offense?
It just depends on the situation. We just, like I said, we want to get as many plays run as possible, and that's our philosophy. I think if you get more plays, you can do better things on offense.
Well, it's like I guess I remember you at Tech. Is it faster than what y'all were?
We'll find out.
And then Sam Bradford and 08 and OU, is it faster than that?
That's pretty fast.
Yeah.
They do a good job.
It's like
They do
I
a
can
good
have time to
tempo.
write down plays between before y'all.
We'll find out.
Is there an element that Johnny brings to the quarterback that you haven't had to work with before with guys you coach?
Yeah, the biggest thing I'd say is if he gets out, then he can go. You know, with Case, he can get what he can get and get out. But I think with Johnny's athleticism, he breaks free. I mean, he can get out and run a little bit. So he's definitely the fastest guy I've played with.
Someone just referred to their offense as vanilla obviously by design, and I think even Coach Muschamp said as much. So what do you expect from Florida's offense?
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's first game for us, second game for them. This is going to be a game of adjustments, I think, on both sides. Halftime is going to be very important, I think, for both groups.
Do you think they were holding quite a bit back?
You know, I don't know. I mean, I've watched Brent Pease over the years, you know, at Boise, and I know his offense has a lot more to it than what I saw Saturday, for sure.
Do you have a feeling that some of the guys that are returning kind of understand it since they played UVE and a Boise State guy last season? Do some of the guys have a familiarity with what they're going to bring a little bit?
Well, I think so. I mean, I hope so. Again, this is going to be a game of unknowns to begin with. We'll see what the game plan is and adjust from there.
Well, did they do, because I didn't get to watch the game Saturday because I was covering another one, but did they do a lot of that motion stuff or any kind of trickery at all? Was it 95% vanilla?
Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, it's a typical first game. I mean, you want to see your offense against an opponent you think you're better than, you know, establish the line of scrimmage and run the football and play action pass and those kind of things. And looks like he got what he wanted out of that first game.
I know they didn't throw a ton, but what could you glean from their receivers and what they bring to the
Well, they can blow the top off. They can fly. All of them can fly. And I'm very, very impressed with their tight end. Number 11, the kid out of Connecticut, who was a tight end. Just watching him develop, he's a threat now. I mean, he's a lot like the kid at Notre Dame. I think that will come on this year for them. I'll be shocked if he doesn't.
Steve Terrell said that when like A&M's offense brings tempo, sometimes the other team tends to try and match it a little. Do you feel they're going to speed things up a little bit more than they did last week?
You know, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Again, that'll be the game day adjustment. Are they going to try to slow the game down to keep our offense off the field? Again, I don't know. We won't know till the first, second quarter how they're going to approach it.
Do you feel tempo is going to play a big part, though, in this game?
I do. You know, sitting here right now, they're probably going to try to keep our offense off the field. That's what I would do anyway. So.
On your cornerbacks with Devontae and DeShazer, at what point, since we can't watch practice, at what point did you know that they were going to be the starters? What did they do that you
Well,
liked so much?
you know, at the DB position, it's all about trust. Who can you trust? Those two guys, because as you guys watched last Saturday, you know, the things I saw watching football all day Saturday was missed tackles, special teams, And I have never seen so many play action pass bombs for touchdown in my life. Lots of them. And that goes back to eye control. We gotta have superior eye control, and guys you can trust. And right now, those guys are the guys we feel like we can trust.
In that sense, is it frustrating for you that you're sitting there watching on a Saturday and your guys aren't working out those type of kinks in the opener?
Well, I mean, it is, the hand is dealt, it's what's dealt, and life's 90% what happens to you, 10% how you react to it, so. It was good. I got a good day of college football.
How nice is it to have Stephen Jenkins against this group?
Oh, really nice. Are you kidding me? Really nice, yes, sir. Yeah, this is his kind of ball game, based on what I've seen so far anyway.
How much are you personally looking forward to walking out into Kyle Field on such a big day? Coach says there's a lot of historic moments in A&M, but it's going to be one of them.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be neat. It's going to be really neat, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited about it. We sit there in our staff meetings and we talk about, like this morning we went through the itinerary, and I'm thinking back to all the big games I've been part of, in my career, been fortunate to be part of, and this is going to go right in there with them, I'm sure.
Maybe what's one or two other examples, if you wouldn't mind?
Well, I always thought going to Penn State was neat because you start with the big giant buses, and then you go to the RVs, then you go to the vans. By the time you get to your locker, you get all the nasty beat up trucks and cars and people screaming at you. That's pretty neat. Driving into Michigan for Ohio State Michigan game and seeing an 80-year-old lady give you gestures.
One finger salute, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty neat, yeah. So, some pretty neat environments.
Time for a couple more.